need for conservation in Africa has never been so urgent, and in response, the TBA is creating a critical mass of conservation leaders. And we're doing this by running field courses in the very habitats that need conserving. Our courses are not only practical, they're multicultural, because half of the participants come from Africa and half from the rest of the world. Our tutors are renowned international experts and local specialists.
One of my lecturers told me about her TBA experience, and I knew I just didn't have a choice but to go on TBA. And she said it was fantastic, it changed her life, it changed her views. And I believed it was something for me because I want to change my life. I want to see how much differently I can move things forward with biodiversity.
Most biology students in Africa, like Ororo, never get the chance to do field work, and yet this is the only way you can really understand about conservation in the tropics.
This one where this professor from Sweden described a bat pollination network in Côte d'Ivoire. I heard this amazing talk. I don't think I can always ever describe the extent to which it affected me at the time, but it was just really grand and very, very clear about what bats do, and it was phenomenal. And it just turned a light bulb on, and I really, really just got so excited and so interested, and all I was dreaming about was studying bats.
Students learn about the variety of life in the forest, from birds to orchids, but the important thing is that the practical skills they learn can be applied afterwards to a range of situations.
1/3 of all mammal species are bats. And globally, bats face many threats, including habitat destruction, particularly in West Africa, hunting. See, this is against the backdrop of even the ecological roles, critical ecological roles that bats play, including seed disposal, insect pest management, and pollination, which is what got me into bats. The most common example I like to use when I talk about bats ecosystem services is shea butter. So shea butter is produced from the seed of a fruit that is heavily consumed by bats, and bats would pick up that seed and fly across the landscape, literally planting those seeds across the landscape. And you see, shea butter is almost used in just about every fashion product these days. That really does show you the critical role the bats play. What that means is we then have to put out efforts to conserve bats. And this cannot be done in isolation, and that's why we got together in 2013 with colleagues across Africa and from the rest of the world to form Bat Conservation Africa. Now that's a network that would help break down the barriers to bat research and conservation in Africa. TBA helped me with my networking skills and helped me to kind of really get into the need for networking. And I think that's one of the key things that the TBA course gives to you. And I'm literally just looking at how bats are changing along the gradient. So bat communities are changing along the gradient.
But so going up the mountain
absolutely.
And saying, yeah.
That's critical. I compare myself to some of my colleagues who don't have the TBA experience or even any sort of networking experience. It's really difficult for them to get together with friends and colleagues and think of solutions to some critical problems with whatever it is they might be studying.
Field courses are just one aspect of TBA training. We also run tailor-made courses to build specific skills that conservation scientists tell us they need. These include communication and scientific writing.
We're being taught how to communicate, and I attended a couple of TBA's specialty courses after the field course. And it was always about how best to pass on information, how to consider your audience, how to reach out to your audience. I think that's really critical because you're in conservation, you're talking to students, you're talking to local people, you're talking to government. You need to be able to pass on what you're saying. And the very first experience of writing a full project from start to finish within 2 weeks was on the TBA course. It was intense. I was scared I wasn't going to be able to do it, but I did it. And I have now used that experience in writing our Bats of Nigeria checklist. And this is coming 30 years after the last review. And now we have a database that is still growing. And we have also started an acoustic library. And I say we because I have now started pulling in a couple of colleagues and started training a couple of students. So the Nigerian Bat Project is growing. But we go out, catch a bat, record the calls on a detector, and have that in the library. This is the first time it's ever been done in Nigeria.
There are now 2,000 TBA alumni, and I've met so many like Ororo who are now leading conservation in their countries. Their work will have a lasting impact on biodiversity.
I would say just do it. Go for it. Study biodiversity. It is not a Western fantasy in any way. It's just your very innate interest. Get involved in it, and I believe you can make a huge career out of biodiversity conservation. And you're going to be changing lives and really exploring your hobby. Go for it.